Keep 100% of your claim. G4 Claims.
If you've been hurt in a road accident that wasn't your fault, you should really talk to G4 Claims first. Unlike road accident solicitors, we don't charge you for our services, which could see you better off. To keep 100% of your compensation, have a chat with Nicole and the team. You'll be glad you did. Search online for G4 Claims.
Keep 100% of your claim. G4 Claims.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Sellik the Thunder podcast. We're on to episode 74, which means short number time. Anybody know any 74s that played for Celtic? I have looked it up and I have found one. The one that I have found, I could not tell you that he actually existed. I feel like it's a made up name, but McGinley, knowing you'll probably know who it is if the penny drops. He played for us, and apparently he got this shirt number in the 1920 campaign, which would have been the year before COVID. So he must have made he must have made the bench that season because he didn't actually play.
Player?
Yeah, he's now at Queen's Park.
Grant Savoury.
Wow, it is Grant Savoury.
He just won Player of the Month.
There you go. Aye, it is Grant Savoury. Well done. I've never heard of him. Who's Grant fucking Savoury?
Yeah, Queen's Park are doing really, really well.
Aye, they're top of the league, aren't they? Aye, got it. Owen Coyle doing absolute bits.
And Dempster.
Well, listen, it's not a Queen's Park podcast, so we better move on. It's episode 74. We're glad to be back. We're right into the rhythm of things now, which is good. And as always, I have my trusted companions beside me. I'll start with you, Ryan McGinley. You're back again, 3 weeks on the bounce. How you doing?
Good to be back in our routine. It's good that Celtic are back and we're looking forward to games every week. I mean, I do like having some midweek games, but the fact that we get like 6-7 days in between games just make you enjoy the rest of the football that's on, and you get Celtic at the weekend. It's something to look forward to at the weekend.
Yeah.
And it's good for the players that they get a break as well, but I'm happy to be here.
Aye, and Callum, you're back after your absence last week. Are you happy to be in the chair? You haven't think about that.
Clive
I know, of course, happy to be back. Nice to be talking about Celtic and talking shite as usual.
I'm glad that was an actual yes. I thought you were genuinely having to think about it there for a minute. But am I happy to be back? I actually enjoy being here. I don't know. It's another kind of quieter week, I feel. I mean, there has been developments. There is quite a bit to talk about. But in terms of just, it's just a standard bread and butter. We've got a game at the weekend. We're still awaiting some actual factual news, something official, yeah. But we'll talk about everything in between. Of course, this weekend Celtic head back to Hampden, the first time since our semi-final loss to Rangers in April of last year. Hopefully this semi-final will go a lot better as we face Kilmarnock in the Viaplay, or is it the Viaplay? Is it Viaplay?
Viaplay.
I think it's Viaplay. The Viaplay Cup semi-final, the League Cup semi-final, as we all know. Let's just jump right into it. Let's get that game covered and out the way. Ryan, we played Kilmarnock last week, which was, as I said, the kind of dress rehearsal. Could have been better. I mean, I'm hoping that the full-on performance is better than the dress rehearsal per se.
Yeah, if we were just putting stuff into practice for this game coming up, then I'm not too worried. It could have been anything that second half. It was 2 going on 6 or 7. If we had our shooting boots on, if the post wasn't there, we would have scored about 6 or 7. So if they're keeping their goals for Saturday night, then I won't complain. But I mean, the first half was boring.
Oh, it was.
I've never really said that about a Celtic game under Ange Postecoglou, but it was really boring, and in the second half they just turned it on. I mean, we got the goal before half time. It's great to see Jota back in the
we needed that goal at that moment.
We needed that, and he needed it as well. I think he needed just something to kick-start it, and you could see his reaction with the Green Brigade. He was loving it. He was loving being back and contributing. I know he contributed against Rangers, but the fact that he had that goal, it seems as if a lot of weight was off his shoulders. But the second half, I thought we played really well. There was a 20-minute period that Rio Hatate just ran the show.
Yeah.
I mean, that wee bit of skill that he done was incredible. But, I'm just buzzing that we got another win, and we were 12 points clear. Yes, it's 9, but, let's keep the pressure going.
Yeah, Callum, it's a tasty prospect, isn't it? 5:30 on a Saturday night. It was the dream kick-off for some. But in all seriousness, it's this is the trophy that kind of kick-started Ange Postecoglou's career at Celtic. It was obviously his first honour. It's important not to sleep on Kilmarnock now and take this game as seriously as we would, be it a Rangers game, be it a Champions League game. This is a chance to now go on and get to a final to win the third trophy under Ange.
Definitely. I think it's obviously been something in recent years. We've just been too used to silverware that it just somehow just constantly feels the norm to be back at these semi-finals, pushing for finals. But as you said, I don't think Ange will treat it any different from last weekend's game. He knows fine well it has to be a win. It can't be any form of a sloppy performance. I think you can tell he would have probably been quite annoyed with the first half. Yeah. Again, because it took us right up until just before half time to get that goal. I would expect to see probably a different performance, I think, come Saturday. I think a lot more attacking, not so much passive in a sense. But no, I just wasn't to get to Saturday now.
Do you think talking about a different performance, do you think he'll make any changes to we'll come on to team selection, but do you think there'll be changes made to the 11 that play?
One or two, I think we could see a couple of wee changes in there. Not so much to do with the personnel we're up against. I think it's just certain players have been sort of lingering on the bench too long that I think they merit a start. Yeah, there's like players like Abada, for example, who I feel like it's been like the longest time since we've been talking about Abada starting games, and there's other guys like that. Of course, that's the good thing about having a big squad is it creates dilemmas. But Callum touched on different performance for Celtic. Will it be a different performance for Killie? Because they were wagging their gums at the end of the game last week with their Twitter post saying it's a different ball game next week or something like that. Do you expect Killie to turn up and play any different to how they played at Parkhead?
You see that tweet? Does that mean they're going to come and play football next week?
Well, that's what I mean.
I don't know what I think they were playing dodgeball last week because they just didn't get near it. I mean, that would be a pretty good dodgeball game.
Aye. But, I was thinking to myself there, who does Christian Doige play for nowadays? I was about to say dodgeball.
Doige does play for.
I was going to say he's on it with Killie now.
He came on as a sub.
Dodgeball. There you go. Coin it.
I'm just glad he's.
I had a feeling he played for Killie. I was like, does he? I don't know why I say it.
He's definitely a McInnes ball sort of player. Yeah. Brexit ball. Aye. What was your question?
I was talking about them turning up with their tweet. It's a different. But it was almost very like 1980s American school film. Like, I'll see you next week.
Some Magic Johnson would come out and say. I mean, if they come out, they'll get hammered. I think if they come out and try and play football, which I don't think they're that great at, then they're going to be like lambs to the slaughter. Yeah. I think everything's going for us. It'll be a big pitch, 5:30 on a Saturday. It'll basically be a home game for Celtic. The amount of Celtic fans that are going to be there, it's going to be rowdy. People have been drinking all day. It's going to be some atmosphere. Yep. I think it all points to a really favourable tie for Celtic. And it really doesn't suit Kilmarnock.
Of course, Killie. Sorry. There you go. Sorry, I've cut you off there.
No, I think we'll talk about them in a wee bit.
I was going to say, because Killie have been rubbing our faces in it a little bit with the 2012 League Cup final, trying to remind us, but it does.
That game just didn't happen. See that game and the St Mirren game and the Ross
honestly,
game, didn't happen.
That Killie game, until they put the Twitter video up this week, I'm not meaning this in an offensive way to any Killie fans who've decided to tune in and hear our opinions. Genuinely forgot it did happen. Like, I actually forgot that it was a game.
I made myself forget it happened.
Of course.
You at that game?
What game? This game? Mm-hmm. No, I wasn't there. No, I wasn't there. I was watching from home. My first game at Hampden was 2015, 2016, something like that.
You're so lucky then, because you
missed the misery.
You see under Lennon especially, used to dread going to Hampden because we always seemed to just freeze. Aye. When we went to Hampden, you had games against Hearts. Remember, was it Craig Beattie that scored and then celebrated as if he won the winning goal in the World Cup? St Mirren.
Been a few. Ross County.
Ross County was a bad one. Yeah. I think I left in tears in that game.
What age were you in?
What game was what?
So I was like 2011, wasn't it?
2010.
2010.
13,
you were greeting.
Shouldn't be greeting.
Christ. No, but they have been rubbing their faces in it with that tweet. But it does show, Callum, and you already touched on it. It won't treat it any differently from how he treated last week or any other game. But it does show that despite how good we've been at Hampden in recent years, there is always potential for a banana peel, and we don't want. I know that was the cup final, but we don't want a repeat of that. What we've seen in 2012.
No, I mean, you're hopefully, like I spoke about it just previously on like TSF, said I'm hoping for like the likes of 4-0. I want an absolute scalper, but a proper dominant performance. I can't be bothered with another, as you said, like Hibs in the cup final. You go one behind and you're chasing the game. I think that's the last thing we need. Not so much from saying I fear that we wouldn't score against Killie, but it's just the fact of how late on, if it was to take that case, how long they can drag the game out.
Celtic were obviously unbeaten at Hampden from 2016 up until that Rangers game in April. The record was something like, was it 17 wins in the bounce? Something crazy like that. You know, it shows how much of a fortress that has actually become for Celtic, and it's time to get that back. It's time to recover ourselves from that loss.
I think because of the style of football we've played, I would say more so under Rodgers and Postecoglou. Feels weird calling Postecoglou. And the football we've played under them, it's so expansive. It suits having a bigger pitch.
Yeah.
It just seems to play in our favour. The teams that we've come up against just can't handle it.
Yep.
And it's good that it's back that way under Ange. Yeah, it definitely suits us.
Yeah. So let's talk about the opposition a little bit more, because there's one man that I guess we need to talk about, and that is Kyle Lafferty. Yes, Kyle Lafferty bursting to face Celtic, says Derek McInnes. So the quotes that he was given to the tabloids this week, McInnes said, "He was doing star jumps outside my office this morning and brought me breakfast. I know how much he wants to play, and all my players want to play. He's bursting to get involved. It's been torture for him missing out. For any player you can accept, you have to deal with if you're missing for months of injury, but Kyle hasn't been injured. He's been fit and running about in training." So bursting to play. He's doing fucking jumping jacks. To get back in this team. Cal, we spoke about it in the group chat the other day. It would be fucking typical for him to actually score a goal after everything that's happened over the past few months.
I think the first one, I don't know why he sticks it so vividly, is back to the 4-0 under Rodgers at Tynecastle. Because he gets those goals, especially in front of the Celtic end. But I said, I've never prayed for a see Friday night, I hope he falls down the stairs or something. I fucking hate him so much.
That's getting clipped for the fucking promotion for this week's episode.
I hate him so much.
I don't know how, like, you know, people will say like, oh, bigotry and you're as bad as each other says, but I genuinely wouldn't mind if he fell down the stairs, snapped his neck.
He's a horrible guy.
He's a horrible bastard. He's a horrible bastard. No, he's not. I don't care how horrible I might sound when saying it, but I genuinely fucking hate him. And they all love hearing that. They love that he winds us up so much, but he is a horrible cunt. To put it, sorry for anybody who thought that was too far. I feel quite strong about it. But you know, the way that the Scottish media, it's became a big conversation this week. The way that Scottish media is treating Kyle Lafferty's return, you know, as if it's some sort of fucking, oh, he's back, it's great for him. Oh, it's good that he's back. He's back. If somebody was to go out and do something similar to that, and we all know what we're alluding to, if you were to say that about anybody else, you would not be getting the reception he seems to be getting by the Scottish media, and I don't understand it at all. I just don't understand it. He's a horrible bastard. That's what he is.
Comparisons you could make, but I'm not going to.
No, I know it is, because it's a horrible, like, it's horrible in any walk of life, whatever race or religion or whatever it may be. It's you know, it's. I don't get offended by it. I'll be honest. I'm not offended by what he says in the video. I'm not. I'm used to to hearing it. Get in the comments section all the time, my videos and all the rest of it. It doesn't affect. Yeah, it doesn't offend me. But it's the fact that it gets sort of championed by some for Kyle Lafferty. Whereas I think if the shoe was on the other foot, if it was the other way around, it would be completely different.
This is the pity party 3-4 years ago with his gambling addiction as well.
Yeah.
Everybody was supposed to feel sorry for him 3-4 years ago, and then he comes out with stuff like this.
Yeah, it makes it hard.
I never bought into that to begin with.
And it makes it really difficult. And I hate that there is such a talking point every single time we play a Kyle Lafferty side. Something like this always seems to come up, but it's like I think he really does love it, and that's what. And you know, once again, the other side of the city, they'll love that. But
it keeps him relevant because, I mean, if we even look back to the last game, was it 5-0 at Rugby Park?
Mm-hmm. Aye.
Did he even touch the ball that game?
No.
He was watching Jens as Jens was scoring an overhead kick.
Exactly.
I remember seeing the video of him. He's just standing there.
I love watching it. I love it when he's raging. I love seeing his face when he's just stewing in rage. But apparently he is bursting to play. It will be his return. Do you think he'll start the game?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, without a doubt. Although they've got that Kyle Vassell that they got from, I think it's San Diego Loyal.
What a team
Sounds
then.
like a Rangers supporters club.
You could just picture the flags in Hampden and Sunday, the San
Just
Diego
imagine,
Royal.
like, Ron Burgundy and like a Rangers top, just going out and watching
Somebody's
the
going to
games.
make an edit of that.
That's it, absolutely. It'll be like the Minions or something. That'll be the Minions this year. No, but he was putting himself about. He tried to put himself about with Carter Vickers, and he totally bounced off Carter Vickers.
Yeah.
And the guy, he was looking for a foul, and the referee was almost laughing at him.
Yeah.
He was asking him. That's just what Carter Vickers does.
It's Hampden, it's emotional, it's a semi-final. Killie will want it badly. Callum, do you think that he'll be involved? Who's the Celtic player you want to see go through him with 2 feet on Saturday?
Joe Hart. Just for no reason. So, do you remember a couple of years ago, Rangers played Hibs? McGregor went to commit to put
Aye.
the ball and he put his foot down Martin Boyle's
That's
back.
right, aye.
I want that for Joe Hart.
I remember that. I was mad.
He tried to say he didn't touch him. So genuinely.
Callum, are you saying that Benjamin Siegrist gets injured in this game, therefore Joe Hart has to come on?
Oh, that's a
I
big
see
talking
again.
point. Aye.
We'll say
Surely,
that for the
but
team
surely Ben.
selection.
Surely, I
That's how
will.
you I would quite
we'll
like
come
to
on
see
to that.
do that to Kyle Lafferty to endear himself to the fans.
Who?
Cho Gue-Sung.
Cho Gue-Sung.
There you go.
Oh, we'll be talking
Don't know
about
how that happened.
we'll be talking about him very, very soon. Yeah, I think it's all standard stuff, the same as every sort of match preview for a Celtic game. We know what we are capable of. We know what we should be capable of. It's a game Celtic should be winning. It's never always as easy as that, but we should be winning the game. And hopefully we do. We'll come on to team selection and such then, because there is talking points, because I completely forgot about Benji Siegrist. Surely he gets the start. Do you think? Do you know? I think he will. I don't
really think it makes a difference. You can play anybody in goals.
Yeah, I just feel like once you commit to a cup keeper, I feel like you've got to stick with a cup keeper.
Supposed to keep the
I
chemistry.
like. I just feel like it'd be a bit of a kick in the stones to Benji. You know,
But he's not been on the bench recently either, because Scott Bain's been on the bench.
has he? I
think there's an
never
injury.
even. I never look.
You just never look at the subs.
Nah.
You never look at the goalkeepers.
Nah,
You never look at the subs.
total surprise, mate. Like, whoever's who's that coming on? Oh, that's Moy. I can see his head.
fair enough.
I've just googled Benji Siegrist, but there's nothing there to suggest. You know.
Because it's not as if Ange and his pressers mentioned him at all.
Aye.
Yeah. That's a weird one then, isn't it? If he's not been on the bench, but I've never really noticed that.
No, but then also you go back to cup final last year against Hibs. It's Hart that starts. So
Aye,
I mean, I
but-
know it's a cup final, but
Aye.
it's still the cup.
But
Keeper go with, like,
that's a weird one. I
I
wonder.
would like to see Siegrist get the game time, but I feel it leans more towards Hart.
Oh, that's
We could just-
this is a weird
Who
one.
becomes second choice in that scenario if Benjamin Siegrist is injured? Does it just go to Joe Hart? It wouldn't be Scott Bain. You wouldn't play Scott Bain.
What,
would
to
you?
play tomorrow?
Aye.
Oh, well, the time this is out, it will be tomorrow, I suppose. If Siegrist is injured, it will be Hart.
Yeah.
Bain's not starting. Bain's definitely not
I'd rather
fit.
play Ralston and go instead of him.
An injured Ralston as well.
Aye, happily.
It would always be Hart every day of the week, I think. But so who we going for, Hart or Siegrist then?
I think if he's fit, you play Siegrist.
What about you, Carl?
If he's fit, but I think he'll go Hart.
Right, so you think Hart, you think Siegrist. I'm conflicted, man. This is difficult. I'm going to just say Siegrist. Fuck it. I'm going to say Siegrist. Right, back four. I'll let you do the four, Ryan. What you think it will be?
God, I nearly said Juranovic there. Johnson, Carter Vickers, Starfelt and Bernaby.
Yeah, I think that'll probably be the four, won't it? Taylor's still out.
Suits, I think the ground as well suits Bernaby to sort of run into space. I mean,
The space of the pitch.
the space of the pitch.
Mm-hmm.
What is the deal with that? Is it a bigger pitch or does it look bigger?
I think it is. I think it is actually bigger. I'm not 100% sure. Somebody would have to fact check it and tell me, but I think it is a little bit bigger. Celtic Park's pitch is quite big, to be fair. It's a big pitch, but I think Hampden's is actually bigger.
Yeah.
It does look bigger anyway. It does when
I
you're.
mean, who would it be other than Bernaby though?
Because it's probably unless he wanted to play Juranovic.
No.
No, so
I think he's a soft ski.
okay.
Don't
So
know where he, but we'll talk about that
aye,
as well.
so
but I think
we're
he-
agreeing on the back four then, everybody.
Yeah.
Right, Callum, midfield three.
Yeah, I think for me, I'm taking Hatate, McGregor, Moy.
That's the three for
agree
you.
with that.
Aye.
I think that'd be the three for me as well.
I think because as Ryan touched on, getting those runs in behind and getting into spaces, we've seen Moy pick out those wee passes.
Aye.
So he said if he's seen that wee gap and you're trying to stretch the park as much as possible, he's your man for picking the passes.
O'Reilly's definitely waiting for that one game where like it's just this spark, the catalyst, and then he will be back, I reckon. But he's not quite had it yet.
Yeah, his assist total's really, really good this season. It's just he's not scored.
Aye.
But he's not been that prolific at Celtic.
Aye.
Full stop.
think people get a wee bit carried away sometimes.
I think they expect with attacking midfielders you have to chip in with goals as well.
Aye. So we're all agreeing on the midfield three then. That was quite nice and simple. So then front three, that's where the talking points always come.
Great.
Is Dyson Maeda still undroppable at the minute?
I don't know now.
It's mad, isn't it? It's actually crazy having these conversations because you just don't know.
I'm actually feeling worse and worse for the fact that Abada's not getting starts now.
I know.
It's in my head now. I'm thinking about it. I'm
Yep.
like, this boy should be playing. I don't know, because you don't want to like just fit him in somewhere just for the sake of it. But I'm like, Abada's a really good player, and sometimes when he comes on, you're like, oh, you forget how good he is. I probably would start him.
Start Abada?
Yeah.
So you'd go Abada, Kyogo,
Jota.
Okay, that's your
I don't know the deal with Haksabanovic. Don't know if he's been training.
I think there was a kind of brief update on
67 he'll
Haksabanovic. I was reading an article. Yeah, I think it was Hamish that wrote it. Shout out to Hamish if he's listening. I can't find the article anymore, but I was reading it last night. What Anne just said about Sead Haksabanovic. Here we go. I was reading it last night. But he's a bit frustrated because he's been training, but he's not 100%. So we'll get him we'll give him a chance to get back to full fitness. He'll probably miss Monday, but we're kind of hoping that he'll be back. So that was prior to the derby. So obviously that was then. So
by the time this comes out, we might have heard about Haksabanovic might get in the team.
Yeah.
If he is available, then I think he'd be on the bench.
Yeah, I don't think he'll start. So you're free then. Jota, Abada, Kyogo, Callum, what's your free?
So I don't know. Again, like touched on this with David with TSF. It's just Maeda's just looked so confident in the last couple of weeks. I think since obviously getting that goal at Easter Road, it's done his confidence the world of good.
Yep.
You see him obviously first half hour in the derby, he takes the ball and he wants to try and like drive it to Tavernier because he was getting the better of him. He knew fine where he was. I think, do you maybe change it out a wee bit for it being just for the sake of rotation maybe? Because I think, as I said, it would be nice to see Abada back in. I think Jota, he's just that goal at the weekend again, as we touched on at the start of the show. His confidence again will be sky high. As McGinley touched on, seeing it right over at the game again. You seen the smile in his face. He was so happy, and I think Kyogo just picks himself.
Aye. So I'm gonna go. I think Maeda will start. So I'm gonna go Maeda.
I wouldn't complain.
Oh no, that's the thing. I've said it every week. It's like a trademark saying now, isn't it? I wouldn't complain. I wouldn't complain at all. I think it'll be Maeda, Kyogo, and Jota. That's the three I'm going for. I think it'll be the exact same. Is that apart from maybe I'm saying Seacrest? I think that would be the exact same team as last week then, because Moy did start last week, didn't he? So I think I'm picking the exact same 11 that played last week, which I didn't intend to do, but here we are.
In a lot of games this season, we have looked better when Moy's on the pitch.
Yeah.
He gives us a wee bit. I know we control a lot of games, but even more control in the midfield. I just think he's so smart with the ball. And just, it's so funny how a lot of people were writing him off at the start of the season. I was doubting him at the start of the season.
I wasn't thrilled by him signing, but
No,
I wasn't
I
wasn't writing him off. I remember saying in my videos, I'm like, listen, well, Ange hasn't made a bad signing. We've been doing well. Trust the guy.
Ange has probably played it perfectly too, because he must have factored in, right, he's going to definitely play in the World Cup for Australia. That's 3 more games that he can get. He's probably going to play 60-70 minutes at least in those games before being taken off, so he can be fit coming back for the second half of the season.
Yeah.
Didn't he say that the second half of the season is when he would most...
Aye, I think he did.
He said the same about Abelgard, to be fair, but
who knows, maybe do you know what, I just need to quickly say, seeing Football Manager, Abelgard is so good. Like, I wish that he was...
It's a weird one.
Oh, he's so good in football. He scores screamers for fun, like 30 yarders every game, man. I'm like, fucking hell, get him on.
It's another week without Football Manager on the PS5.
Oh.
What's the point?
Get an Xbox, mate. Simple. The superior race.
Oh, don't even start with that.
So it's not a gaming podcast, so we better...
Just one more question about the team, and this would
Yes.
be more for the subs bench. Do you expect to see Iwata on the bench?
Good question.
Because I'd be more inclined to assume that he would be on the bench, or maybe even starting against Morton once he's a couple of weeks.
I'm going to say no for now. I don't think he'll be involved.
Turnbull will be on the bench ahead of him.
Yeah.
Aye. I think Morton's probably the ideal scenario to start bedding him into the team.
Yeah.
Best time to get him game time.
It's literally Aloha for Udeguchi.
Aye.
That's essentially what this game is coming up against Morton, which once again I sadly won't be there for, because I'll be in Eindhoven cheering on PSV on Saturday night.
PSV?
Yes, PSV Eindhoven. I'm going to see PSV versus I think it's Utrecht. I think it is. Wait, is it actually you, Trick?
Yeah, it is.
Is it? Oh, the fucking boss. Am I going to see Barcast?
Stations of the Cross.
Oh no, it's Vitesse. No. No.
Do they
No, it's
still
hope.
do Chelsea still farm out all their youth to Vitesse?
I don't think they do, no.
And what's the point in going to see PSV now? Gakpo's going.
Xavi Simon's still there. So, geez, peace. I'm on a holiday, fuck's sake.
Rangers target Xavi Simon.
Was he a Rangers target?
Gio wanted him.
Oh well. Okay, you can keep fucking wanting. Anyway, right. Score predictions to end off the Killie segment of the show.
I'm going with it again, 5-0.
Cal?
Sticking with the previous one, 4-0.
God, I'm the noble one this week, or the humble one, or whatever. I'm going to say 2. Just a 2. 2-0. Aye, 2-0. Just because I think that Killie giving it this whole different ball game thing, they're just going to do the exact same thing they done last week, and it's probably going to work for large portions of the game, I think. So I'm just going to play it safe with a 2. I want it to be 4, want it to be 5. Probably could be if we have our shooting boots on this week. But aye. So excited. We're all going. We're all maybe going, aye, unless you're injured.
If I can walk, right.
If you see Callum at the game on Saturday and he's hobbling, just lay it easy, right?
There's nothing a drink can't solve for you. Once you have a drink, you'll be fine.
I'm looking for. I love a Hamden trip. Do you know the only thing that annoys me though? When they get a Hamden trip, it like I can't do my reaction videos. Like it can't happen. It's just physically.
What was it when you filmed one? It was in a park.
Was it not?
4-0.
I filmed in a park in Poland the next day, but then it was the Morrison's car park after the Rangers 4-0 game. Aye,
Can't remember
the
that.
Morrison's car park. It would be that, you think, mate? And I was absolutely I was steaming to the point where I gave Rangers a goal. I kept saying it was 4-1. 4-1 today, brilliant for us, fantastic.
Mandela effect.
I don't know why. I was like, 4-1, brilliant. I was trying my best to disguise that I was half cut, but I certainly was. I've realised now that probably avoiding these types of videos is probably just for the better. Aye, I don't want to end up a meme, you know.
I've not seen that happen before.
You're not ready?
No, not now. COVID maybe.
But that didn't even happen.
Nah, it wasn't real. Right, okay, it's time for our first quiz of the day. We've got 2 for today. It's our half-time one. And we've finally got a quiz name for remember the one it was called the Ryan McGinley and Kieran Auld quiz game featuring Callum Craig. Remember that was the name? Well, Kieran has now actually given it an official title. It is called And They Gave Us Craig McGinley and Kieran Auld Tay. So there you go. There's the name.
Very personal.
Fitzsimon's just completely missed out, which is great. I'll never be able to play this one. So it's the Who Am I format. So very simple. I'll give away a clue at a time. You can guess, and then you're frozen out till blah blah blah. You know how it all works. I'll bring you back in whenever. Right. So he's ready for this player. Right. Yep. Okay. So your first clue is: I have been managed by Stephen Presley and Alec McLeish. Now, you don't need to jump in straight away, but there is your first clue. I've been managed by Stephen Presley and Alec McLeish. I'm actually going to check when he was managed by these managers.
I think Stephen Presley, who's a Coventry manager.
Ryan's he's gone in depth now. You're allowed to just say pass to the next clue. He's passing the next clue. Okay, here's your next clue. Alongside that, I have played with James Forrest, John McGinn, and Johnny Hayes. Quite the three. Quite the three. So there you go, revealing a little bit more about him.
Can you repeat those, please?
So, I've been managed by Stephen Presley and Alec McLeish, and I have played with James Forrest, John McGinn, and Johnny Hayes. So there's you've got, that's 2 out of your 5 clues.
I think it's a Scotland player. John McGinn. Although Hibs.
Once again, if you once again, you can say pass if you want to go to the next clue.
Please,
Aye, yeah. Right. So both of you passing. Right. I scored for Celtic on my home debut. That's your third clue. So managed by Stephen Presley and Alec McLeish, played with Forrest, McGinn, and Hayes, and he scored on his home debut for Celtic. And I think this was the last ever game my granny went to. I'm sure it is. I'm sure it was the last ever Celtic game.
Can you give me the year, please?
It's not. That's not the point in the game.
Right, okay.
Now remember, you can fashion a guess, or you can say pass. 2 more clues to go.
think we need another one.
Aye. Right, okay.
This isn't a cooperative one, is it? No. It's,
No.
No.
Now this one, I'm kind of confused about this clue because I didn't know he was considered one, but apparently he's considered a legend at one of his former clubs. Now I can understand why, but I didn't realise they actually did consider him a legend. So you've got one more clue after this before you have to fashion your guesses. I think there's so many people at home that might get this one. If you know it, you know it. Like if you've even thought of his name, you're definite.
Debut.
Yes, so I'll run through the four that you've had out of the five right now. Callum's just looking at me in sheer confusion.
Difficult one, isn't it?
Aye.
I have been managed by Stephen Presley and Alec McLeish. I have played with James Forrest, John McGinn and Johnny Hayes. I scored on my home debut for Celtic. I'm considered a legend at one of my former clubs. There is one more. If you want to say pass, feel free to say
I
pass.
think we're going to need to. This is a shocker.
Callum, you want to pass on to the next? Or have you got a guess?
No.
Because it's
has a big
right,
guess
so
whatsoever.
Who the hell?
after that, this is your last clue. I have also been capped for my country twice, both in friendlies. So never made a competitive appearance for his country, but played in 2 friendlies. And that is all your clues. So if you don't have a Scooby, you may as well guess a name. We don't want to be here all day.
No.
So managed by
Is it a pure well-known name?
I mean, not pure well known. Like he's not fucking Lionel Messi, right? But he's
Caps. He's done well.
but he's fairly in Scotland. He's been about. There are so many different clues that I could give you as well that would properly give it away, but I'm just sticking to now. I want your guesses, so I'll give you 10 seconds. Pick a fucking player, any player that played for Celtic.
No.
I'll run through. I want to, as soon as I finish up giving the clues one more time, you've got to just give a name, right? I've been managed by Stephen Presley and Alec McLeish. I have played with James Forrest, John McGinn, and Johnny Hayes. I scored for my Celtic on my home debut. I am considered a legend at one of my former clubs, and I have been capped twice for my country, both in friendly games. Who am I? Go.
It's not right. I was going to say Derek Riordan. It's not right.
Right, okay, you're saying Riordan. You got a guess? Any name? Just go ridiculous if you want, mate. Because the longer you think, you're just not going to get it anyway.
Look, that just makes me want to say any player.
Right, go then.
There you go, take Amido Baldi.
Amido Baldi.
I've not get that.
Who am I? I am Dylan McGeoch. There you go. Dylan McGeoch. So, managed by Stephen Presley at Coventry, as you brought up. Managed by Alec McLeish. Must have been... When was he managed by Alec McLeish? Oh, must have been Scotland. Unders level or something like that. I don't know.
I think a club level.
I can't think when he
Did
would...
he not come on? He might have came on the same time that Jack Hendry came on. Remember when we were playing
Oh,
against
sugar.
Mexico?
Yeah, of course.
Remember
There
when
would have been.
everybody
Forgot McLeish had a second spell. So there you go. So there you go. He played with James Forrest at Celtic, John McGinn at Hibs, Johnny Hayes at Aberdeen. Scored for Celtic against St Mirren, I believe the game was, if I'm right, at Celtic Park. Yep. Considered a club legend, I'm assuming, at Hibs for his involvement with the Scottish Cup winning side. He was in the Scottish Cup winning side.
He's not at Rangers, that's for sure.
And he was capped twice for Scotland in friendly games. Dylan McGeoch is your answer. So
It must have been that South
Hard lines.
American sort of tour that we done. We played the USA, or just the American tour,
Yeah.
because we played the USA and we played Mexico.
yeah.
It's not going to get raised, I just said Amido Baldi to get that earned done, weren't they?
You've definitely been watching Little Z's videos today, haven't you? The Karenka against Galatasaray penalty shootout, man.
Oh man,
Albert Vieira.
Memories. Right, okay, that's that done. Let's go on to the next talking point. Transfers. Since it is January, Cho Gue-Sung. Is it? Go into it. McGinley, you were tweeting yesterday that he put a fucking whatever emoji it was in a video of him.
No, the South Korean emoji.
Aye, whatever.
I wonder where he's from now.
Well, I just knew it was an emoji.
China, if you listen to the Rangers rabble.
That's fucking hilarious, isn't it? The Chinese and the Koreans, historically,
They're allies.
I've looked this up. I've done my research.
The fact is, he calls them alloys. He's looking too much into that team that he plays for. It's because he plays for
Hyundai. Jeonbuk Hyundai Motors.
Cho, where are you at, mate? Come on.
Aye.
Do you know, I was confident that it was definitely going to happen until I read what he was saying at like 8 o'clock this morning. I woke up and then read like the sort of translated. Did you see that?
Yeah, I did.
It doesn't fill you with confidence,
no,
what he's saying at all.
And I was going to pose a question to you, Callum, over that side. Since Ange has been manager, he's made it very clear he wants players who want to play for Celtic, and I think they're sure of playing for Celtic. Is that the kind of interview, or the kind of statement that makes you go, right, it's time to move on, look at other options?
I think obviously that interview also coming out, and then I seen a couple of links. We tried to get the boy's name, coming out, the Polish boy. So I don't know if again.
Simon Włodarczyk, I believe.
The thing about that guy is
Well,
Mark
Callum
Henry.
was speaking.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. I was just saying, if also, as you've touched on, Ange only wants players that want to be here.
Yeah.
So if he is sort of back and forth from Ange, right, no, next one, go to him.
Because before you were going to say what you were going to say with Elmer McGinley, but I was reading that apparently one of his closest friends plays for Mainz.
He does.
Which would,
30-year-old Korean
yeah,
player.
so that would make kind of sense if he was to go and take them in. Plus, Mainz isn't a bad move, you know, Bundesliga side, Bundesliga mainstay.
See, a lot of Japanese players have done very similar.
Yeah, a lot of obviously Asian players have done really well in the German leagues. So it wouldn't be surprising. What were you going to say, McGinley?
I was going to say that about 20 minutes after that link came out about that Polish player, I'm not going to butcher his second name.
Give it a go. I just done it.
Simon.
It's Simon, really, is it?
Simon
Włodarczyk, I believe.
Should I ever say Simon? I think I'm
Włodarczyk. It looks like Włodarczyk. I'm assuming it's Włodarczyk.
What was I say? Mark Henry basically came out and said that we were linked to him earlier on
Yep.
in the window.
Yeah.
Or weeks
So,
before.
but I'll read it for you, just so
Thank
that
you.
we give the podcast listeners some context. Celtic apparently, according to Mark Henry, Celtic apparently approached the Polish side Górnik Zabrze regarding Simon Włodarczyk. The deal was close on initial terms with an approach of £3.5 million. However, there's been no movement since the Cho priority. So, there you go.
That's quite welcoming, the fact Cho is the priority.
Mm-hmm.
I think Ange is kind of sort of twisting his own sort of rule book, or sort of going against his own rule book here. You can tell.
Do you
that
think
Ange
it's
really wants
Cho,
this
is
player.
Cho that good an option that it kind of makes it more accepting of the fact, right, this is one to battle out sort of thing?
I think the fact that we've got a wee bit of leeway is the fact that we've already brought 3 players in already in this window, and that was before January.
Yeah.
Good things come to those who wait, and you've got to wait on these things happening. Not every transfer is going to be seamless, and you've got to remember this is the first time we've forayed into the Korean market in about 10 or so years.
Since Ki-Sung Young.
It's not going to be the same as what it was 10 years ago. It's not even going to be the same to Japanese. That'd be a lazy comparison to make. In completely different countries, but if Ange definitely wants this player, then we've got to go all in for him. He looks the business from. I'm going to bring up YouTube again, but you know he does look the business.
We've seen him at the World Cup as well.
Yeah, I mean that bullet he had that he
Yeah.
scored against Ghana. I was like, a wee bit of that, please. But
Well,
see what happens.
let me pose the question, Callum. I'll start with you. If that's the man that Ange wants, and obviously we need to replace Giakoumakis if he leaves. There was rumours that Minnesota were bidding up to £5 million. Would you urge the board to match that figure? Especially if we're going to bring in a bit of money for Giakoumakis, depending on if that's true or not, what we're looking for. But would you match that?
I think if the money for Giakoumakis is good enough, it essentially covers that same fee, then you'd more than happily put it right back into it. As I said, I don't think we can really get through the rest of the season relying on solely just Kyogo. Like one striker again, it takes that hamstring or such to go again, and you're left with
Mikey Johnson coming back and playing up front.
I mean, Maida can play up front, but it's not the same.
It's not the same.
Yeah, so I'd more than happily, if it does come to the sake. We've seen it in the past. We've seen it with John McGinn. We've seen it with Ivan Toney. Just pay that bit of extra money. Just get them through the door.
Yeah, I think that'll be the real test to see how much the board has actually changed, because we've all been. Well, I am very reluctant to praise the Celtic board. I always have been, always will be. But obviously, a lot of people have been championing the Nicholson's the best thing for sliced bread. This is the true test to really see if he is. But can I just give my honest opinion? I don't think by the end of this transfer window that Cho Gue-Sung will be a Celtic player.
He's going to sign tomorrow then, isn't he? So you've just reverse jinxed him.
Maybe.
We don't believe in jinxing though. So
Nah, I'm not a fan of the old super. I'm a little stitious. I'm not superstitious, as Michael Scott would say. But I don't think he will be a Celtic player. I really don't. I can see him going to Mainz or Minnesota or somewhere. I just don't think he'll be a Celtic player.
I think if he's going to go anywhere, it'll be Mainz, because Minnesota. He last month he was saying that he wants to play in Europe, and that's a good showcase for him. A showcase, maybe you could call it. That's terrible, man.
And thanks for listening to the Celtic the Thunder. We're not just done today, we're done for good.
Just cancel that whole thing knackered. I mean, if he wants the European football and he wants to test himself in the Champions League, he's not going to get that at Mainz. Get that at Celtic. If he wants a move to the Premier League, which is what he was saying, the best place to do that is at Celtic, I would say. Because you could go from Celtic to... I know you could do that with a German club, but it's just down the road.
No, Premier League. Granted, Mainz are not having a bad season.
Where are they in the league?
They're 10th just now, but they're only a few points behind, the top
league,
six. I mean, like Dortmund, for example, are on 25 points and Mainz are on 19. And Dortmund are sitting 6th just now.
Jurgen Klopp and let's see him, Thomas Tuchel's old team.
Yeah, that's right.
Quite a progressive team.
Yep.
It wouldn't be a bad move. The two big moves, Mainz and Celtic, they'd both be good moves for him, so I wouldn't begrudge him any of those moves. I just don't think he'll go to Minnesota. I don't think that makes sense to him at all.
Bo Svensson, currently manager of Mainz. I had to wake up there a minute ago. Aye, Bo Svensson, that's right. Callum, what would you put your money on? Will he be a Celtic player or not?
Preferably yes, but recent comments make me say no. So I'm going to more towards that.
Okay, doke. Right, I think we've covered Cho.
I'm going to say he will be a Celtic player. I've just got a funny feeling.
Okay, I do hope so. I do hope he does, but I just have a feeling he'll be in Germany. I really do.
Who is Mainz's main striker?
At the minute, I'd have to remind myself. Let me Google the squad.
Because if it's easier for him...
Do you know what the worst part is? I was actually watching the half-season review of the Bundesliga like 2 days ago, like on BT, and I forgot who their goal scorer is.
Because the one thing is, he won't be guaranteed starts. And if Mainz don't really have anyone of note up front, then he will probably all get starts if they're forking out a bit of money for him.
Yeah. Try and have a look. I'm looking at their detailed squad view here, which is offering absolutely bugger all in terms of it's just taking forever to load.
You better check on Wikipedia for that sort
They probably are. Jonathan Burkhardt, he's injured right now. He's their highest valued player as well at €15 million.
Was it not Derek Ray that was saying that he was coming back from injury?
No,
and that was the reason why they weren't in for him?
Right,
anymore?
okay.
I don't know. I think the problem is because Cho Gue-Sung himself mentioned Mainz in that press conference. All of a sudden, the alarm bells start going. You don't mention a club unless it's... I mean, you think about Alistair Johnson when he was talking about it at the Canada press conference. You're like, is there more to this? I mean, you probably see the positives and negatives on that then.
Right, well, let's talk about the way outs because Giakoumakis, this is becoming a saga in its own. Giakoumakis, 1 minute he's off to Japan, then he's off to Italy. Sampdoria have apparently made a bid. Apparently Bordeaux and Ligue 2 have made a bid, which is only...
You can call that a bid?
Yeah, £2.5 million or something like that. I mean, so what has been said in the tabloids is that Celtic are valuing him at £8 million. Bordeaux, L'Equipe in France is suggesting that they've made a bid of €2.5 to €3 million, which is way off the mark for Giakoumakis. I am still just baffled that these are the moves he wants to pursue. I don't get it. Japan, Sampdoria, who are in the relegation zone of Serie A.
You've seen that as a loan win obligation if Sampdoria stay up.
Aye.
If you look at the table, they ain't staying up.
Oh no, so was it going to awkwardly come back to Celtic in the summer?
It's just awkward, isn't it?
Aye. Callum,
with a Yeti already coming back.
I know, exactly. Giakoumakis, I love him with all my heart, Callum, and do you know what, if he stayed and he was committed to staying and we got him a new contract or whatever and everyone was happy, I'd be chuffed. But I think the ship's sailed, I think.
Pretty much, I think, as you said, it would be the same even if he was to go out and loan and he comes back. It's just a very awkward situation at that point. I think it has reached a point, very much like Juranovic, you think, you wish him all the best, no hard done to him, but I think it's time for himself, you would probably say, to just sort of move away from it.
Aye, Ryan, what's your makings, your thoughts?
I think for all parties it's best if he moves on now, because even if he was to stay,
He was unlucky at the weekend, right enough.
It was. That was
Aye,
something.
very.
I mean, there was a couple of chances. Was it? I didn't watch the highlights back. Was he close? He was quite close with that header.
He
as
hit the
well.
bar with a header, and then he hit the bar with that shot from outside the box.
It was
And
quite weird him shooting from outside the
I
box.
know, aye.
Although he did do that at Motherwell earlier on in the season, didn't he?
yeah.
I think I know there's a lot of people that love Giacomakis, and I do really like him. I think he's a really good striker on his day, but it's not as if we can't get better.
He is. Like, I seen somebody make a very interesting point when he was first linked to the club, because obviously the automatic reaction was, Giacomakis, you can't go love him, and I do. He's been my favourite in the whole Angira, apart from maybe Haxa, who's here now, because I've just got such a personal connection with Haxa, right? Apart from him, Giacomakis has been my favourite outfield player, but I can sit here and openly admit he's replaceable. And he is a very limited player at the age he is. You know, he doesn't.
He's not going to get any better.
Yeah. He's probably peaked, and his qualities is purely. It sounds ridiculous to say this, and I feel like I'm going to sound stupid when I say it, but it's not like he runs with the ball. It's not like he's carving all these moves. He's there to finish the dinner, and you can get a striker who can do that and a lot more. I think. I love him, and I don't want him to go, but I feel like it's just going to have to happen now. Do you get what I'm saying though? Like, I think he's a striker that is very limited in what he does, but what he does is the important thing. Is it's scoring goals.
I made the point in the summer, or it was right before the summer, where I thought that Giacomakis was our best striker, but I thought Hugo was a better player.
Aye, yeah, absolutely.
So
I'd agree with that.
Giacomakis technically is a great player.
Yeah, aye, I get. That's what I'm trying to. I'm trying my best to say it in a way that doesn't sound like the real Hitati situation that got people slaughtered on Twitter. I don't want people fucking clipping me saying that Giacomakis is not good enough or not, and that is not what I'm saying. But I really do agree with you. I love him with all my heart, but I think that
he cannot pass a ball.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, I think that at the age he is, to go now is what makes most sense.
I mean, and again, bringing back the YouTube thing. His supposed replacement, if we're to believe that it is going to be Cho, he can pass the ball. Mm-hmm. If he can get a mix between Kyogo and Giacomakis and imposing, he's 6'2" but can pass the ball, it'll be perfect for this Ange side. You've got to think he'll cause havoc in the league and in Europe.
Yeah.
I mean, he's been such a good player for us, and I don't want this to sour at all. This sort of. I mean, we don't even know the ins and outs of it. We don't know why he wants to. It's been kind of left in the dark, but I mean, it's a weird one, isn't it?
Yeah. Just need to be patient with it, just like we have to be patient with Juranovic. Callum, there's been no movement in the Juranovic situation. We spoke last week about the potential moves that he could pursue. We've obviously heard about this 7 million Monza debacle, which is once again went cold turkey, it seems. What's your thoughts on all of that? Just the whole situation with Juranovic at the minute.
Again, I think that's another one. It's a bit pie in the sky. It's, as far as I was aware, like personally, I thought come January 1st he'd already have his papers basically signed with another club. He'd be away in the first week in January. The fact it's now dragged on, we're hearing the talks, as you said, 7 million to Monza is just baffling to me. Like, I don't know how it's came from the likes of. Obviously, it's the newspapers that do it. The likes of saying, "Oh, Chelsea are looking at him." Mm-hmm. Reece James was at Barcelona and such. Then like some Monza, like, it's a very poor downfall for him. And you'd like to think Celtic would know to do better business than a loan to then say give us the money. Like
Silvio Berlusconi's got that dog in him.
Get the dollars in him as well, or the euros. It's euros. What was interesting though, that was at Monza ran for a right back, another. Right back.
Are they?
They're going for I think
cheating on him.
What?
Cheating on him.
Was it Fabrizio Romano that was saying that they were in for a right back? I don't know if he was Argentinian or that.
Yeah.
Either that or it was the same sort of colours that Argentina wear. I don't know if I've got mixed up between that, but makes you think that I think Celtic would be best to just bide their time here and wait for a couple of weeks, see what the market's like. Because I'm surely there's got to be better teams than Monza coming for Juranovic.
Yeah.
I saw the link with Man United today as well. But obviously Man United need to get rid of Wan-Bissaka first before that would become a sort of option. But just I think Celtic would be better biding their time and seeing what the market's like. And then if a right move comes along, then they can sell him. Yeah. We've got the power here.
The ball's in our court.
The ball is in our court because we've got Alistair Johnson.
Yeah.
So it's all good. I'm quite chilled about that. I'm more concerned about the Giacomakis situation than the Juranovic, honesty.
Yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. Who knows? By the time we record next week, which we actually have a midweek game next week, don't we? We play St Mirren during the week, so we'll probably be talking just after that. We might have a better picture as to what the situation is. Other transfer mumblings and grumblings, we don't need to jump in depth. Stephen Welsh could be away. Looks as though that he could just go off into the sunset, I suppose.
I think it's a bit of a weird one, but considering what you look back to this summer, Ange was saying, no, we want to keep him here, we don't want him going, and now it's almost a case, all right, on you go.
I think the landscape's changed with the likes of Kobayashi coming in, for example.
I know, definitely it has. I think it's just quite as night and day basically in the space of 6 months, saying, no, we want to keep him here, we want to develop him, he's a good player, to now we've got what we want. There you go.
He can fuck it off. So he could be away.
I heard rumours, I don't know how true they are, you got to take these things with a pinch of salt, but apparently Kobayashi's been really, really good in training. Like he's really been impressing. That's the Morton game's going to be quite interesting. The game that you're not going to. But, you know, it's going to be so.
I'll need to get it in this. What time's the kick-off? 3?
No, I think it's early.
Oh, is it early?
On BBC.
That's good. That suits then. Stay in the hotel and watch it.
That's the game I hope Kobayashi plays. I really hope that he plays that game. And Iwata as well. And any other signings that we bring in for the door. I'm just hoping and praying here. No, it's a weird one with Welsh. Because obviously we had the bids from Udinese and I don't know whether we let him go on loan or we just cut our losses and be like.
I think he's just got to go for the sake of himself. He's just
got to progress his career.
He's not. I don't want to say he's not good enough. I always feel harsh when I say it, but he's just no. He's not in standard of Vickers or Starfield. So what if he's not going to be that standard? Then what's the point keeping him around?
Right now he's so. Carter Vickers is number 1, Starfelt's number 2.
Yeah.
Jens is your number 3/4.
Yeah.
Because we don't really know because
like
Jens hasn't played since Kobayashi came in. So that's Welsh's 5th at the moment.
In the pecking order.
The writing's on the wall, isn't it, really?
As Sam Smith once famously said, the writing is on.
Was that Inspector?
Yes, it was Spectre. Anyway, right, that'll do us for transfer talk. Now, before I take us on to the last couple of segments of today's show, I'll give you guys the opportunity to bring up anything from the last week or so that you've wanted to talk about, anything at all that we've missed today that you can think of. Callum, how's the Superstore been?
Not bad. Abada was in last week.
Oh, was he?
Aye.
Really ill.
6 shirts.
6
shirts with his name in the back of him. How self-obsessed can you be?
Were they on his size?
Probably getting one for his driving instructor.
That's right. I never. Transformers are dangerous. I mean, I passed through Transformers, so
they must be making a wee bit of cash.
I know. I wonder if Jens and Abada gave it like Christmas tips. Like, I gave shout out to Mark. Gave him my Christmas tips.
We block booking.
Aye.
Transformers.
Aye. So, anything at all apart from Abada appearing?
No.
Waiting for you to bring up something very trivial, McGinley.
No, I'm just waiting to get slagged for saying Kenichiwa to Iwata, to be honest. But just before you.
Hey, hi, Ange. That was very, very reasonable.
I'm more than happy to be reasonable on this podcast. I absolutely adore the guy, both on the podcast and in person. I've told him that. But do you know he speaks really well? It's good that he was. I mean, he came out at who did we play at the weekend? My memory's terrible. Kilmarnock, we played Kilmarnock at the weekend. He came out at half time and he was speaking a wee bit of English. And you see that just endears you to the support. Yeah. The fact that he's putting that extra wee bit of effort in to sort of talk to the fans. Not that I'm saying any other player would be looked upon negatively for not doing that, but the fact he's went out his way to sort of learn some English or put some broken English into a sentence is really good. But his press conference, he spoke really well, or he translated really well. The fact that he came out and said he's a number 6. He says, yes, I can play in defence, but I am a number 6. Mm-hmm. It's quite interesting about what that means for medium to long term in terms of Cal McGregor. I'm not booting him out of the team, but does he go further forward, or?
It's a good question. We'll just need to wait the answers for. We need to wait and see. Genuinely, just have to wait and see.
Ange seems really, really keen on him. He wanted to bring him in last season, but he didn't want to leave. Yeah.
Right, well, that's us for the general conversation of the week. Thanks, lads. A couple of more segments. Well, we'll see what time we'll do the Twitter questions, and then if we've run over time, then I'll just leave I do have a what's that one with the wee guy, Warwick Davis.
Do a tenable. Come on,
I've got a tenable there. Right, we'll get the Twitter questions done first. That's the most important. Getting the viewers involved as always on the show. By the way, I quite digging this
It's a cracker, that.
I like it. My man got me the tracky top and all, but it fitted like a fucking straight jacket. I had to take it back.
That's the best thing for you.
Right, fuck off.
Wow.
Right, okay, are we ready for the Twitter questions? Let's try and rattle through them, right? Let's none of this pondering or dwelling or second thinking. We'll try and power through. So Boy in Red asks, how likely do you think it is that Giacomakis stays until the summer? You think it's likely?
Nah.
I think he's going.
No, think he'll definitely be away.
Aye.
Okay, that was
Might come back in the summer.
Yeah.
I think he'll be going.
right. Okay, Oren says, "What are your?" Oh, well, we've spoke about the Cho saga, I suppose. Thank you anyway for your question, Oren. If you could choose to, good question for Kieran. If you could only rewatch one Celtic game again, which one would you choose? So just one game that you can rewatch.
So I'm guessing your memory gets wiped and this
Well,
you just watch it
probably.
for the first time.
Let's not get too technical about it. Just answer the fucking question. It's hard because is it like rewatch in terms of like on the telly or like because I want it. My head just jumps straight to Lazio away. Like it just, but then Scottish Cup final as well. It's just like your favourite game you've been to question sort of thing. Like
I think about Lazio away. That was a difficult game.
do you know what? Actually, I know what I'm picking. 2-1 against Rangers. Jan Vennegoor Hesselink. Bang.
What a game.
That's my answer. If I could only rewatch one.
Probably the 4-0 this season. No, 2-1 against Aberdeen.
Scottish
Won
Cup
the
final.
Invincible
Rockets.
treble.
Okay. Calm.
Good shout. 2-1 against Hearts, treble.
All right.
Edward double.
Aye. That's a left field shout. I like, because
because we
it's
went
so good.
behind,
Aye, it is.
and then-
That game doesn't get as much respect as it should because
You know why? Because of what happened after the game.
Because of the shivers.
well, aye, but like just
Cover
madness. Aye,
That list again.
I completely forgot about the showers, to be honest.
See that 15 minutes,
Oh.
20 minutes after we'd won the
Oh mate,
treble.
it killed my day. Like I still remember standing. We were walking. This is before we used to get the bus. We used to just get like we'd walk right along Rivergun and get picked up, and we're walking. And if you're from Ruggie, you'll know what I'm talking about. There's this wee kind of underpass kind of thing. It goes like it takes you to the other side of the road. It goes like, under the Grun, and we were going through the tunnel under the Grun, and my pal was like, "Lenny's been getting the job," and I was like, "Very fucking funny." Showed the phone. It ruined my day. I generally felt just all the excitement for winning the treble just drained through my body. I was fuming. I actually remember tweeting. Like I remember taking my phone out my pocket and
was
tweeting
absolutely
like
fuming.
I tweeted something like you can kiss 10 in a row goodbye, and boy oh boy,
Enough.
I was right.
You jinxed it.
Yeah, nah.
I'll tell you, I don't believe in jinxes, but see if I did,
Nah.
that'd be a prime example.
I was I knew it would. Fuck it. I just knew he would. But anyway, we're not dwelling on it, right? We've moved on.
We're going back to the Zoom episodes again.
Fucking moved on. Do you think Kevin Nisbet could be an option?
No.
Says Paul. That was a very quick nose.
He was an option in desperation times.
Yeah, I actually find it mad that
I've moved on.
yeah,
did a lot there,
I've seen
striker.
people
He
suggesting.
was out for 9 months with an ACL injury.
I've seen people suggesting Nisbet and who's the other one?
Stuart.
Ross Stewart, that's the other one. Fuck me. Yeah, that reeks of Lennon signings. It reeks of Lennon signings.
Double
No,
signings as well.
no offence to you, Paul, but nah. He says he thinks Ange would take his career to the next level. I mean, he very much could, but I don't think it's worth the gamble.
No.
Nah.
It's better out there.
I'd rather keep Giacomakis
Yeah.
than Kevin Nisbet, I'll be honest.
Anthony Devine asked a question about Sigrist, which we've already answered. Thank you anyway, Anthony. Aidan with an interesting question. Which player has the potential to improve the most between now and the end of the season? Probably like Johnston. I think Johnston would be my answer. Because he can only get better, like surely. So I'm going Ali G. Ali G.
I think the one thing that I noticed about him in the Kilmarnock game, he was good, very, very good defensively, but he's maybe not used to the inverted fullback role in terms of going forward. Once he gets used to that, say 2-3 months playing that position, I think he'll be a world beater.
So is your answer Sir Johnson as well?
Probably now, aye. Although if Iwata settles really well, then he could be somebody.
Okay.
Then again, at 25, I'd expect him to be close to his sort of peak in terms of what he's going to be.
Yeah.
So it's interesting times.
Calm.
I think I agree with Johnson. Part of me would have liked to say Bernaby, but because Taylor's not out for that long.
Yeah.
If we say
It's a
that,
good shout,
you know
though.
what, he's out for up to 6 months.
Aye.
Then let's get a 6 month window to keep improving himself. But
I like the shout though, because he will get football.
Aye.
So that's quite a good shout as well. So there we go. We're waiting for Johnson, Iwata and Bernaby as the three names that we've put forward. Slimbappy, you are stuck in an abandoned Dublin. Zombies have started to appear. You can choose to group up with 4 current Celtic players. Who do you choose? I think it's 4 players. 4. Right, we'll pick one each and then we'll do like a joint one. So I'm going to go for I'm going for Carter Vickers.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's my pick, right? You and McGinley. Starfield.
We're all just going to pick defenders here.
2 centre. Are you picking Welsh? Are you taking Kel?
I don't know. That's something that keeps morale high a bit, doesn't he? Everybody's going about
a good laugh.
Keith McCarthy. Everyone seems to get laugh at me.
Yeah, by the way, that's a shout. That's a shout. So we've got McCarthy. I like that actually. We've got McCarthy, Starfield, Vickers. Who's our community?
Good for morale.
Who's our fourth then? We'll come to that one together.
Stevie Woods.
Got to chuck Morelos to the zombies.
Celtic player. He's actually spit roasting them just. Big fucking apple in his mouth.
There's a joke there about zombies that I'm just not going to make. You know,
Rangers fans.
They would like
who's our joint fourth then? Who are we thinking? I think Johnson could be a shout. I know we've spoken about him quite a lot today, but I think he could be a shout.
He'd be good for morale, wouldn't he?
Aye.
Joe
Hart. I'd take Hart. We're taking Hart.
We'll
take Hart. So there we go. It's Vickers, Starfield, McCarthy and Hart.
I feel bad leaving out Yakimakis.
Ah well, he's away, so it doesn't fucking matter.
He's escaped.
Che asked, bring back El Yunusi.
Is that tweet from 2020 or 2021 because I would have in 2021?
Yeah.
But do you know what? He's getting his games for
Southampton.
And he's not getting any younger, so...
You saying no?
I'm saying no, even though I was a massive fan.
I'm a huge El Yunusi fan.
And I think even last season I thought he would have fit really well in an Ange team because he was so hard working. Even in the field 10 in a row season, I thought he worked hard for the team. But I think that time's passed. But I'm still glad that he played for Celtic because he was one of the players that I really did want to see, especially after he tore us apart.
Would you bring him back, Cal?
Yeah, I think as McGillis touched on last season, more than ideal, but not so much now.
No, I think it would depend. It's circumstances driven, isn't it? Like, you know, if his contract expired and there was an option there, then yes, I'd probably say why not. But I mean, it's not as simple as that, is it? So
I was thinking we get a better option than Haksabanovic.
Carl asked, I like this question. By the way, we're not going to have time for Tenable. We'll save it for next week because we've hit the hour mark. And if no one news playing Tenable, we'll be here all fucking night. And I went up the road.
Last week.
True.
Do we need to do the actual quiz?
No, there's no quiz. After this is us.
Oh, right, okay.
Are you disappointed there?
Yeah,
we've spoke a lot longer than I thought we would have. So.
See, that's always what happens in these podcasts. The ones that we don't have a sort of that many topics. We just
still waiting for a Scran question, by the way.
I think there's one.
There's already anyway. Cal's question. You can pick any WWE superstar to play for Celtic. Who is it and where are they playing? It's a good question, isn't it?
Dead or alive?
I was going to say
fuck it, may as well. You guys say Chris Benoit?
Quiz Benoit?
That was our team there. Thank you, Kieran Burns. Thank you.
He's going to be a free agent soon. I'll pick Sami Zayn.
Sami Zayn. Where would you play him?
Anybody he wants.
Okay.
Or Sami Uso.
Aye.
Whatever gimmick he wants. Right?
Okay, cool. Calm.
John Cena. Put in the back of Carter Vickers.
Oh,
Get that American link.
Love that. I'm trying to think. Obviously, you could go down like the Ange transfer route and say like Shinsuke Nakamura, Japanese. Yeah, I'm going Nakamura. Okay. I mean, imagine the shirt sales, Nakamura 25, man. Imagine it. Bring it back. I'm going Nakamura on the right wing.
I still think the best edit or sort of compilation video I've ever seen was the Nakamura goes to the Nakamura theme tune.
Aye, like
that's just two worlds just colliding and I love it.
Somebody's asked is Montgomery in contention if he's back. No.
It doesn't even look like he's going back to St Johnstone because they've now got to. Who does it? He plays right back. Is it left back?
I thought it was left back. I played left back.
It's left back. That's what I meant. I got the two mixed up. It looks as if they've got two left backs now, St Johnstone, so they don't need them anymore.
Cheers, Elfin. No, that's the name of the person. I wasn't calling you an elf or nothing like that. Don't worry.
What was his name?
Elfin.
Oh, right.
Elfin Priest.
That seems pretty coincidental.
Aye. Liam McDade I'm Liam McDade, that's your record they played. He says, will Ange make many changes for this? Oh, well, we've covered that. Cheers anyway, Liam. Caden, if you could only choose 3 items of food, confectionery or drink to go... Oh, this is a good question, because I've started going... Go to the pictures, you get one food, 1 confectionery and 1 drink. What are you taking? I'll start off. Even though I go to the pictures a lot nowadays. Like, I'm waiting for the day somebody says, I seen you up in Coatbridge yourself, you sad bastard. Like, because I'm just going to the pictures myself all the time.
Did you go to the showcase?
Aye, of course I did. What?
Showcase is awful.
No,
When was the last time you've been?
I know it's been done up, but
Oh,
it's still...
it's
Since it's been
incredible.
done up,
It's the
decent,
best
man.
picture. It's the best picture house out, man. It's fucking brilliant.
Go to the view at the fort all day.
I like the
I
view
hate
at the
the seats
fort,
at
but
the
they're
view, but
uncomfortable as fuck, mate. You think the showcase is shite?
I don't think it's shite. It's just because I live in Coatbridge, I wouldn't go
Oh,
there.
mate, showcase is a cracker, man.
Which again, people will say, why wouldn't you go there? That's the closest cinema to you.
Aye.
Because I prefer the view.
No, that's the view is literally walking distance for me,
Aye.
but like I just prefer going to Coatbridge, so kind of the same, I suppose.
You get your insider card yet?
Yes, I have. Aye, I have. I've got my inside. I've got 90 pence saved up on my insider discounts now. But if it was me, and I'm waiting for it, honestly, one day's going to be like, why you got the pictures yourself? I love it. I've got right in a habit. I think it's great.
Here, there's no difference, by the way.
That's not, I mean, you can't talk.
Yeah.
I know you can't talk during the pictures. So I'm taking nachos as my food because I fucking love nachos. Nachos is my food. When I'm at the pictures, I've got a thing for magic stars. So that's my confectionery. I don't know why, only at the pictures. Like, I wouldn't buy them
I
at the
get
side.
that. No, I get
only at the pictures, magic stars. Then for my drink, it's just a Coke. Like, I'm bored. Well, I like an ice blast. There we go, an ice blast, actually. Right, yours.
I'll let you go first.
If we're talking showcase, because they've got the same machines as Five Guys for the juice.
Aye.
Peach Fanta,
Oh.
fucking lovely. I think a copy with the nachos, but then for minstrels.
Minstrels.
That I liked from a game recently.
Right.
What's happening here? Why has nobody said popcorn?
I hate popcorn. I don't touch it.
I don't mind it. The only thing I know is just
What's
seeing it
that
get stuck in my teeth.
Aye. See, what's that bit
if
for
I'm-
Gavin and Stacey? Like, I don't touch that. I can't remember what he's talking about. Like, it's futile. I don't touch it. Okay, so you'll probably get a coma. It's futile. I don't touch it. That's me. With popcorn is rotten. One of my least favourite foods on the planet. So you're
I can only have it in
the pictures.
cinema.
Aye, right. So what's your free then? What would be your food? You're definitely
Chocolate
hot.
buttons. Giant chocolate
What,
buttons.
food.
Oh, I can take-
That's your confectionery. Like, you know.
That's it.
Well,
No,
so,
mine would be popcorn.
right. So popcorn's your food, right? Okay.
Yeah,
right. Cool. I'll accept that. Right.
I would never get anything hot from the cinema.
Really?
No, I
Pardon me.
mean, I remember this was 6-7 years ago. Went to see that Mother. I don't know if you ever
Never
seen
heard
that.
it.
It's mental.
Jennifer Lawrence.
Yeah.
Aye.
Did you see that?
I've not
The
seen it
most
yet, but
mental
still to
film
watch
ever.
it.
Watch that. I don't know if you like it or not, but it is the most mental
Right, okay.
film.
I'll keep it in mind. I'm in my movie
Yeah.
kick. Follow my letterboxd at Ryan Stephen F. Thanks very much.
But that's it. No, I followed you the other day.
Yes, I noticed.
I'm going to get back into it as well.
I
You put
love
me in
it.
the mood
I
for
love
I was slagging you last week, but I want to do it now.
Aye, fuck you.
Would you call it? I smuggled a full fish supper into the
Ballsy. Ballsy.
and it was
Ballsy.
stinking the place out.
Oh, that's, see, I would be embarrassed.
Ross done that.
Did he?
With Five Guys, he took a hot dog in,
Aye.
but again, get like everything on it.
Oh, for
I think
fuck's
you'd
sake.
be
Took
alright
it in.
with a hot dog because
Because
you
they
get
sell hot dogs.
Aye,
With the
but
chippies
no one
drenched
needs
in
to
your
get
salt and
everything
vinegar.
else in it, like-
Aye, your mustard, your onions, your
Oh.
tomato sauce, your relish, your fucking...
That's
Aye.
Ross for you.
That is Ross for you. Shout out to Ross, you
I was
monkey
going to say,
bastard.
if Ross sees this,
So you're going popcorn. Then what'd you say is your confectionery?
we chocolate buttons.
Chocolate
Not
buttons.
chocolate button, giant chocolate
Aye, and then your
buttons,
drink.
pouch, or Coke.
Coke.
It would have been water.
See,
I've
I've only said ice blast because if it was like a one-off thing and I'm like, this is it forever, I want to pick it up. But I usually just get a Coke and all, to be honest. I usually just get a Coke.
It's tactical because you don't know how long. Well, you've got to see how
Oh,
long.
well,
the
now,
movie
I
lasts.
tell you, now we're getting into a rant here about fucking the pixels. You can't get an ice blast nowadays unless you take your own straw. Because see an ice blast with a paper straw, I'll use the word futile.
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 Aye,
It's
futile,
futile. You're 10 minutes into the film, your straw is like mash. You can't slip through it or nothing. It's useless. It's absolutely useless.
You've got beef against the turtles because if you
No,
do,
no,
I do
listen.
too. No, I do.
Yeah, I like it.
Stupid animals, you see, they probably deserve extinction. If they can't tell the difference between a plastic and a paper straw, probably deserve it.
Right, well, that was our cinema
Fuck you,
choices. I
Crush.
enjoyed that one. Anybody got any plans for the cinema soon? I think I'm going to go and see Till with my father tomorrow.
yeah.
I'm very interested to see that because I don't like the story behind
Aye.
it, but
I get what you mean. It's interesting.
Yeah.
Aye. No,
I
you
don't
can.
know.
Babylon's
Isn't
out
that
soon.
Megan?
Oh,
Talks about
Megan.
just a
Aye.
reboot of Chucky.
Aye.
I don't know.
Reviews for that seem to be good, but I'm not a horror. You'll never catch me watching a horror. Closest I've came to it is The Menu, and that's probably not even a horror.
Is that the one with Ralph?
Yeah, watched that today actually. Watched that today.
I still watch Knives Out, to be fair. Well, Glass Onion.
Aye.
I've not seen the first one. That makes sense.
First one's crack.
Right, we're going down a rabbit hole.
What movies are coming out? that I
Babylon.
like? Who's in that? Is that Margot
Brad
Robbie?
Pitt and Margot Robbie.
I'm looking for.
Oh,
I'm looking for the Oppenheimer.
Aye, that'll be good.
That'll be a
Do you know what I
for
just-
cinema because Barbie's out the same day.
Do you know what's
as
out? Do you know what's
Oppenheimer.
out in December? And I cannot wait because Cal knows me. I love Willy Wonka. Wonka's out in December.
Is that the one with Timothy?
Yes,
Chalamet?
I don't even like him, but I love
You'll be
fucking.
good at that,
But I
though.
love Willy
Yeah,
Wonka.
such a rabbit hole, man.
I love Willy
A separate
Wonka.
podcast.
One of
there
my,
we go.
I know.
Stay filmed.
Do a film podcast. Ideal.
I just talk about Willy Wonka for an hour. Right, okay, we're going rapid fire, right? Rapid fire through the last few questions, right? Connor Carr's asked a question we've been asked a million times about food kiosks and then what would you have at Celtic Park. Well, I think we've answered that at least 6 times on this show, so I'm skipping it for now until we forget one day that we've done it. If you had to replace the pie and bovril at half time of the football, what would it be? I mean, no everybody gets a pie. I don't see you as a pie and a bovril man, are you?
Steak pie, yeah.
Oh, do you?
Not a bovril.
I
I've
love
never
a
had a
bovril.
bovril before.
Oh, I love a bovril. Took me a
Try
while.
one.
It was the St Johnstone Cup game right before COVID up in Perth. I thought, fuck it, I'm going to try a bovril. Hooked. I've got a jar of it in the house and everything, man. I love the shite. So I'm going to have one when I go in.
Tell you what I'd bring back to the kiosk. Full fat.
Yeah,
Coke.
yeah.
What is that all about?
It's that-
and
it's that
KFC
prick
are the
Oliver.
same. I know.
It's him.
And he's Curly Wurly. Is it Twiddler?
I don't know. I
It
can't.
wasn't Curly Wurlies, that's a... No, because he banned something. What was it?
I don't know.
Made by Bernard Matthews anyway. Twizzlers.
Aye.
I banned them.
Turkey Twizzlers, aye.
Aye. But, what was I saying?
I don't know. Right. Well, I mean, if you wanted to replace the pie and the bovril, what would you replace it with? Could you replace it with? It's a good question, Kieran. We'll come back to it next week. Chippy chips. I prefer French fries, mate.
Oh, we've had this before. Did this cut with you? What are?
I'm really a French fries man. Right, what's your Adam as always is in the lad. He says, "What's your booze plans for Saturday? I'm tempted by Bucky on the bus and Magnums at the ground for legal reasons, not inside. But you could tempt me away with your suggestions." Well, I'm not going to tempt you because I'm on the Bucky as well. Thank you very much. What do you use?
Bottle of
Dog. Colour. Melon.
Just a wee cider one.
Because
Because I don't know if I'm going out after it. I've not been to the cat house in 2 weeks. So
You feel alright? Yeah, you're right. You got the shakes there.
I don't know. See what the plans are.
Asadis has asked a really bizarre question. If you were in Lidl's, what is your go-to items? I hate Lidl.
Never been. Have I ever been in a Lidl?
I'm
Once or twice,
I'm
maybe.
Tesco loyal, mate. Not just 'cause I worked for them, but like I just generally don't like shopping there. Morrison's I can do because it's near, but I'm Tesco loyal. I hate being anywhere else that's not a Tesco. So if you were in Lidl, what's your go-to item?
I don't know. See,
What do you reckon?
if I could swap it for Aldi, because Aldi's only 2 minutes up the road.
Aye.
If you've tried there, like McDonald's,
No.
nuggets are decent.
Decent?
Give them that.
Might get that a
Not
go.
bad.
Might get that a go. What would you get in Lidl, Ryan? Everybody bangs on about the bakery.
Is that where Kevin the Carrot is, or is that Aldi?
That's Aldi.
Oh, Aldi.
See,
Right, well, we're no Lidl
is that
men.
the teddy bear? Lidl. The Lidl bear.
Aye.
Christ, we're in an hour 12, right? Boom. Right, fucking, who has the most slappable face in the cinch and why is it Ryan Kent? Yes, no, Morelos. Love to slap that
John
bastard.
Lundstrom.
John Lundstrom, actually.
100%.
That is
100%.
that is a good shout.
It's a face a mother couldn't even love.
I know.
I'm
Oh.
sorry. I can't say much, but
What's the best thing to go in a calzone? I've had a calzone in the longest time, man.
It was calzone.
Oh, well,
that's a thought.
calzone.
I had one a couple of weeks ago with Donna meat in it. Surprisingly liked it more than I thought I would.
I always like a meatball one. I like a good meatball calzone. That's what I'd say. What about you?
Never had one. Mate.
Never had one. Your school had ones, mind the school calzones.
Aye.
But I used to when I was wee, right, and I'll get slaughtered for this because it's got a bad reputation. Me, my mum, my dad, they still go all the time. I don't. They love Frankie and Benny's, right? So we used to go to Frankie and Benny's all the time. Meatball calzone every time, man. Just honestly, for as much slaggins as Frankie and Benny's get, that was actually tolerable. I liked it. I enjoyed it.
It's a dying place, isn't it?
Ryan McGinley, question to you from Kyle. He says, I seen you walking to your seat on Saturday. I'm the one that shouted your name and then pointed at you from 2 feet away.
See, the thing is, I was already halfway up the stairs at that point,
Aye.
and it was quite awkward looking back.
Aye.
But if it's the same person I'm thinking of, Oh yeah.
Oh.
It's like a salute in his goal or something.
Right, what's your favourite county in Ireland? I've never been to Ireland. Still not been.
One is Dublin a county?
Don't. Does it count? Does it count as a county? I don't. I just know it's obviously a city. Listen, I would go for County Armagh. There we go. That's what I'm going for. Never been. Do you know what actually?
Dublin is a county.
Is Dublin a county? Do you know what I'll say actually? Donegal. There's my answer. Donegal. You're going to go on Donegal as well. County Cork. That's down the bottom, innit? I know most of the counties, but I don't have any like strong affiliations with any, so I've just gone for Donegal because Jake. Shout out to Jake. He's for Donegal, so that's why I'm picking it. So love you, Jake. And best arse in the Celtic team.
James Forrest.
It's a pretty easy answer, isn't it? I mean, I know Callum's just
anybody but Forrest.
So have you got another answer?
Cara Starfield.
Starfield. And
you've looked at
there is a
you know, I mean,
Aidan with the question of all questions. Right, lads, Ali's Kebab, rate it out of 10, and if you don't know, you should try. Trust me, we've tried it. We try it every fucking Saturday. We Shettleston, so you've probably never had one.
10.
It's beside our lot. We drink in the pub next door. So basically, you're at the pub and you're into Ali's. I had a Ali's for my dinner last week, but I was there at the pub. I just had one for my dinner. Ali's a 10 out of 10 Indians. It is incredible. Ali's is the best, without a shadow of a doubt. There's nothing that comes close. Nah.
We might actually be going for an Indian before the game because it's obviously 5:30 kickoff. It's when you would have your dinner.
Fuck drinking heavy like after an Indian, man.
Might be a smaller portion, so.
Yeah. And then finally, Luke Skywalker Macintosh says, "Are relations between South Korea and China resolved?" I'd like to hope so.
Yep. That was some take from the Rangers Rival boys. One of them follows me actually. I was quite confused about that. It's like,
fuck knows how.
They must be just looking for a wee bit of balance. We're not going to get it from me.
Aye, Christ. Well, that's it. That's us for today. We've actually went a lot longer than I thought we would have. An hour and 16 minutes we're on now. But it's been a good show, an enjoyable one once more. Hopefully we've provided a good laugh ahead of our big game tomorrow against Kilmarnock in the Scottish Cup, the Viaplay League Cup semi-final. Ryan, it's been a pleasure.
Thank you very much for having me.
I'll speak to you next week probably. Aye. And Callum, thank you very much.
Thanks for having us.
Hope your Achilles heals. Get it.
Oh wow. Press that button.
I hope you've no pressed that button this week.
We'll see you next week.